Hair of Fire. So we are now coming to you from Victoria, where we've dropped down. We did ride east a little today. We rode east basically. Yeah, basically from Tofino and Uquila. Euclid. Anyway, still working on that one. So we rode that road, and it was a great time. And so for reasons I don't understand, my mic was not working on the GoPro at the time, so I've got some great video of what was really an amazing ride. Riding all that road from Tofino back to the Highway 19 was just amazing. So what I'm going to do is just show you a little of that ride with a little bit of Hey Die Livin' in the background. We're actually kind of considering this part of the end of the Odyssey because it's July 1st. We're still in Canada tonight, and we're going to go out and do some Canada Day stuff. So we're kind of imagining, hey, this was our Odyssey across Canada. Tonight is the capping off, even though yesterday was, no, the day before was the actual accomplishment. tonight is a sort of capping off on July 1st. So we're going to be going out into Victoria and joining their July 1st celebrations, having a good time with that. But we also wanted to reflect a little on the journey. You've got your GPS in your hand.
do.
So one of the things these GPSs will do is we can, starting a journey like this, tell it to track data. And it records a whole bunch of data. And so Sue's now going to give us some data on the trip until today. Well, until right now. So this is when we left our driveway until now.
When we pulled out of driveway.
So what do we get?
We traveled 5,615 kilometers.
I don't think you have to travel 5,000. I think you can get here in probably 4,000. But yeah.
We detoured a few times.
Yeah. So yeah, 5,600 Wow.
102 hours of riding time, I guess.
I think this is 102 total hours because it's still going right now. Oh yeah, there we have those two. So one of hers says almost 103
this is the moving
hours
one.
of
This
time,
is,
70 of which we were moving. So I think that first one though must be when the GPS was awake, because it's been more time than that. It's been 4 weeks essentially that we've been gone, which is more time. But anyway, 70 hours is the interesting
days,
one.
4
So
weeks
we've
and 4
been moving for 70 hours. So I guess Calgary's out of that and Chilliwack's out of that. But moving for 70 hours.
Yeah. Stopped for 32.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to
I'm not
make
sure
of that
what that
either.
is.
Our moving average is 80 kilometers an hour, which is the relevant one.
Yes. Average was 55.
And maximum speed is?
We're not going to tell that. There's one I was passing.
All right,
We don't
keep
need to put that
the
in.
maximum speed a secret. But yeah, that's the Toronto to basically here, part of the Odyssey. And of
Victoria.
course, we also last year did the Toronto to Cape Spear, Newfoundland, and then back to Toronto. Oh, and then back to Toronto. So we don't know how much
Manitoulin
was
Island
just.
and then back to Toronto.
We don't know how much was the Cape Spear to Toronto, though, because that would be the whole
I'd have to go
Canadian
back and
Odyssey.
look.
We're going to have to do some number crunching for the whole Canadian to say how much we're across Canada. But what we're going to do now, by the way, is take a ferry from... we're not going to do it now. Now we're going to go celebrate. Okay, urban hike. Once again, we are... hang on, we got pedestrians coming towards us. I gotta try not to crash into...
Or don't look like you're taking here yet.
What, look like a dork?
Yeah, really.
Okay, it's okay. I don't mind looking like a dork. So, we're on our little urban hike here. This time in Victoria, BC. Trying to get downtown to see the Canada Day festivities. Now, Sue's just checked and we're somewhere between about, I would say, 2 and 4K from where we want to be.
Well, it's one of them anyway.
To one of the venues where the music and stuff is. So anyway, we're trucking on down there and seeing Victoria on foot, as we have a way of doing with Canadian cities. So yeah.
Our last one.
So far, pretty happening Canada Day in Victoria, we have to say. A year ago, we were in Ottawa, and there was like smoke from fires, and I don't know, we never did find music or whatever, but...
Well, there was music on stage, but you couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
It was really...
It was alright. We had a good time.
Yep.
We had to go running away because there was a hurricane coming. So we ran.
Because the smoke in the air was a little too...
Yeah, and we brought our bikes downtown. So this time we don't have our bikes. We just walk downtown.
Yeah.
And
we can do whatever we want.
and there's a happening area over there we haven't visited yet. But so far, looks like a great vibe here in Victoria. We're having a good time.
Woohoo!
Hello. As we cross the street. So we just kind of enjoyed Victoria. A bit of Canada Day celebrations down there. Had actually a couple of restaurants. Had one little thing in one place and then moved on to another. Really enjoyed the evening. It was really nice. It was a good celebration of success. And now we're heading back to our Airbnb because
with our key lime pie.
With our key lime pie. Oh, hang on.
Which we don't do very often.
with the game plan of not being up too late, we chose to forgo the drone show, which may or may not go forward because, like everywhere we go, there's crazy winds.
Following us.
Yeah, and so they're not sure the drone show is going to happen. And either way, we just want to go back. It's like, when is it, 8 o'clock?
About 8:30, I think.
Maybe 8:30. So we're just going to go back, chill, try to get to sleep early so we can get up early and hit the ferry to Port Angeles. That's the plan. So we booked this place in Victoria. Yeah, it's just down the hill. Well, let me show you. It's right there.
It's kind of a guest house, they call it.
They call it a guest house. And it's a guest house for this castle. We have no idea what the heck this castle is.
It's kind of weird.
So we're kind of checking it out as a nighttime thing. I hate to just ask somebody what this castle is because it's probably supposed to be obvious. But it's kind of cool. No, I know, I'm not tripping. Did you see me tripping? I'm tripping, man. But tomorrow, where we go from here, we're going to start going eastward, but we're going to take a ferry that leaves here, Victoria, British Columbia, and takes us to Port Angeles in Washington. And it's supposed to be a really scenic, kind of interesting ferry. And then from Port Angeles, we think we're going to go to Seattle, which is only 100K or less. But
I think it was 82.
Yeah, but we're close to Seattle, home of grunge, Nirvana, all that kind of stuff. We may have to spend a night in Seattle. We haven't decided.
Oh, no.
We're starting to look. But especially if we could get some sort of experience. I like these experiences where they, take you to places and whatever. We'd see. But that's sort of on our minds. Really, all we're planning right now is to try to be at the ferry terminal bright and early tomorrow, about 8:30. There's a 10:30 ferry. Well, there's a 6-something ferry, but so there's a 10:30 ferry. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to sunblast you there. And so we're going to try to be there for about 8:30, check in, maybe grab some breakfast, and then start on the ferry. And then once we know if that's going, then we'll start booking other things or thinking about other things from there. Any reflections from the road?
Well, it was a pretty uneventful day.
No, but even more generally, the Odyssey.
Oh, for the Odyssey.
This is the
Wow.
Odyssey.
So many things.
It's a little overwhelming almost. I mean, I really do think we've seen Canada. Not all of Canada, obviously. There's a lot of cool things in Canada we've not seen, but we have sampled Canada, from at least the Trans-Canada and places off the Trans-Canada.
Coming into Drumheller was pretty incredible.
Drumheller was really cool. Yeah, very cool. It was one of my highlights for sure. The Rockies in a different way, and the funny thing is it crept. What I mean by that is, like, the Calgary part, the first day, it was cool. Overwhelming as far as sort of visually and the scenery. The riding was just kind of It was okay.
It was cool, but it was different because we had seen them before.
And it was highway. It was sort of highway riding through the mountains. But then after that next day, the riding got better and more interesting. And then I won't remember the name of the town, but I'll remember the ride. I'm going to say Kemamios.
Yeah.
Kemamios, I think, when we took that ride from
to the
Kelowna,
Manning Park.
From Kelowna down the 97, which was fantastic. But then we took the 3 and did this Kemamios and then on to Manning, and then I think I'm working on the video of that right now, and I think I'm calling it Best Day Ever after our granddaughter Kinsley. Every day is either the best day ever or the worst day ever. And I think that was the best day ever. So that was a big deal. Of course, it was followed by the worst day ever, which it really was, when I blew my tire, and that led us just to feel.
Blow, it just went flat.
Yeah, I don't know what you call blowing a tire. It was very dramatic where I was sitting, I can tell you that, and it was at 0 pressure by the time I'd stopped. So, and it was down to the cord. So, man, I wore that tire out. But being stuck in Chilliwack for those 4 days, and nothing against Chilliwack, we enjoyed as best we could, but it really felt really disappointing and just like a gut punch right near the end. And so I think we had to kind of get over that. But I think we're still getting over that.
It put us behind 4 days, basically. So we were, by Monday night, we were supposed to be in Tofino tonight.
Yeah, and we thought we'd be well into the States by now. But
yes.
But we're here in Canada on July 1st.
And we're happy to be.
Yeah, so.
I kind of wanted to be.
So it worked out fine, I think, that way. And now we start the American part of stuff.
We head east.
We head east.
Home.
Yep. Yeah. On a more meta level, I think this whole notion of biting off something like this, and actually, I mean, we actually did this crazy thing. We haven't finished, if, by the way, by the time we come back, we'll have ridden across Canada and America. Which America was just sort of a bonus throw-in because we had to in order to do the trip across Canada. But that's especially kind of cool, too.
Well, we didn't have to go through the States that first time. We chose to. It was the shorter route, and it had some really cool rides.
We could have done Canada twice.
No,
but we could have.
We could have, yes.
We could have done Canada twice, and blah, blah, blah. But we did America, then Canada, then back through America. So I think that's cool. We don't know what we're going to see. We know there's Washington, there's Montana, there's South Dakota, where this place called Sturgis is, which motorcycles are like, but we're not quite that kind of motorcyclist, but they're partly,
but the roads there are really
great.
Supposed to be very cool.
Yeah, so I want to see that, and then kind of,
we're looking forward to some warmer weather.
Yeah. And then maybe Chicago. It wasn't a blow that was dealt to Chicago. I was looking forward to going to Chicago again, but we found out there's a ferry across Lake Michigan that would probably cut off a bunch of time from us going down to Chicago and then coming back to Toronto. So it's going to matter. It's going to depend on how homesick we are.
How homesick and how, like, if we have issues along the way, that kind of gets to a little...
Yeah.
It can be frustrating.
Yeah.
When you just want to ride.
I'm really digging this glowing hair. It's very cool. We had a shower. That helps us feel cleaner too.
We had a shower just 2 days ago. It's not like we don't shower very often.
Well, there's periods in between. Yeah, for sure. Anyway, all cool. Maybe that's enough for the wrap up of the whatever. We'll probably reflect on the rest of our journey. But from here on, we're going to point eastward, and it's going to be kind of fun to feel like we're riding back to our 2,000 square foot Airbnb that we don't have to pay for every night. Looking forward to it.
Looking forward to seeing the kiddies when we get home. Miss the kids a lot.
Cool.
Hope you're all doing well.
So that's the plan for tonight, Canada Day.
Canada
Cool.
Day. Mm-hmm.